Rich Daily Identity, written and published by Rich Audiobooks. Wealth isn't just something you earn, it's something you embody. Every day, the way you think, talk, dress, and show up sends a signal to the world and to your subconscious about who you believe you are. Rich people don't wait until the money arrives to act wealthy. They step into the identity first. That's the real secret. In this guide, you'll learn how to align your daily habits, language, posture, and energy with the richest version of you. Because when your identity matches abundance, wealth can't help but follow. Lesson 1. Identity over willpower. Most people approach wealth creation backward. They believe that with enough discipline, determination, and willpower, they can force themselves to make the right financial decisions that will eventually lead to wealth. Yet time and again, this strategy fails. Even with the strongest willpower, most people find themselves reverting to their deeply ingrained financial habits and beliefs. The reason is simple but profound. Your financial behaviors are not primarily driven by willpower, but by your core identity, your fundamental beliefs about who you are and what you deserve. Your identity shapes every financial decision you make, from how you spend and save to how you invest and earn. When your actions conflict with your self-belief, your identity will always win, regardless of how much willpower you exert. Consider how often you've tried to force yourself to follow a strict budget or savings plan, only to find yourself breaking it within weeks or months. This isn't because you lack discipline, it's because these actions conflict with your current financial identity. If you see yourself as someone who struggles with money, lives paycheck to paycheck, or doesn't deserve abundance, no amount of willpower can override these deeply held beliefs. Science of habit formation reveals that sustainable change happens when we shift our identity first. Instead of focusing on what we do, we must focus on who we become. A person who identifies as wealthy makes different decisions naturally, without the need for constant self-control. They don't have to force themselves to invest, save, or seek opportunities. These actions flow naturally from their self-concept as someone who builds and maintains wealth. My identity-first approach explains why some people seem to attract wealth effortlessly, while others struggle despite working harder. The former group operates from a wealthy identity, making decisions aligned with abundance, while the latter fights against their own self-committed with every financial choice. Your financial thermostat is set by your identity, and until you adjust this internal setting, no external changes will stick. Breaking free from a scarcity mindset requires more than just positive thinking or affirmations. It demands a fundamental reorganization of how you view yourself in relation to money. This means examining your earliest money memories, challenging inherited beliefs about wealth, and consciously choosing a new financial identity that aligns with your aspirations rather than your past. The process begins with awareness. Start observing your automatic thoughts and reactions around money. Notice how you speak about wealth, how you respond to financial opportunities, and what you believe is possible for you. These observations reveal your current financial identity and provide the starting point for transformation. Your new wealthy identity isn't about pretending or fake it till you make it superficiality. Instead, it's about consciously choosing to step into a more empowered relationship with money. This might mean seeing yourself as a skilled investor, a value creator, or a prosperity magnet. The specific identity you choose should feel both inspiring and authentic to your values. The shift from willpower to identity as your primary driver of financial behavior creates lasting change because it works with your brain's natural tendencies rather than against them. When you truly see yourself as wealthy, you don't need willpower to make wealth-building decisions. They become your default mode of operating. This is why wealthy people often say making money becomes easier over time. Their wealthy identity creates a self-reinforcing cycle of abundant thoughts, decisions, and actions. Understanding this fundamental principle, that identity precedes financial transformation, sets the foundation for everything else in your wealth-building journey. As you progress through this book, you'll learn specific techniques for embodying your wealthy identity in every aspect of your life, from how you carry yourself to how you make decisions. But it all starts with this core truth. Sustainable wealth comes from being before having, and your identity shapes your financial reality more powerfully than any amount of willpower ever could. Lesson 2. Defining your wealth persona. Your wealth persona is more than just a vision of having money. It's a complete identity that encompasses how you show up in the world as a wealthy individual. This persona represents the highest version of yourself, one that naturally attracts and maintains wealth through their very way of being. To create lasting financial abundance, you must first clearly define and then gradually embody this elevated version of yourself. Start by understanding that your wealth persona isn't about pretending to be someone else. Instead, it's about identifying and amplifying the aspects of yourself that align with wealth creation and abundance. Think of it as uncovering the wealthy individual who has always existed within you, waiting to emerge. This persona should feel like an authentic evolution of who you are, not a manufactured facade. When crafting your wealth persona, consider the core values that drive wealthy people: responsibility, innovation, leadership, and stewardship of resources. How do these values already show up in your life? Where could they be strengthened? Your wealth persona should build upon your existing strengths while incorporating new elements that resonate with your desired financial future. Your wealth archetype plays a crucial role in this process. Some people naturally embody the strategic investor, methodically building wealth through careful analysis and calculated risks. Others align more with the visionary creator, generating wealth through innovation and bringing new ideas to life. The connected influencer builds wealth through relationships and social capital, while the mindful steward creates abundance through careful resource management and sustainable growth. Identifying your primary archetype helps you lean into your natural wealth-building strengths. Consider how your wealth persona approaches everyday situations. How do they handle unexpected expenses? What questions do they ask before making investments? How do they interact with others in business settings? Your wealth persona should have clear patterns of thought and behavior that you can begin practicing immediately. This isn't about playing a role, it's about developing new neural pathways that make wealthy behavior your default mode of operation. Your personal wealth narrative is equally important. This is the story you tell yourself and others about your journey to wealth. Rather than focusing on past struggles or current limitations, your wealth narrative should emphasize growth, learning, and the inevitable manifestation of your financial goals. This narrative should feel exciting and inspiring, pulling you forward into your wealthy future rather than keeping you tied to past limitations. The most powerful wealth personas are those that contribute value to others. Consider how your wealthy self serves the world. What problems do you solve? How do you create opportunities for others? What legacy do you want to leave? This aspect of your wealth persona transforms the pursuit of wealth from a self-centered endeavor into a mission of positive impact. As you define your wealth persona, use all your senses. How does your wealthy self walk into a room? What tone of voice do they use? How do they carry themselves in challenging situations? The more vivid and detailed your wealth persona becomes, the easier it will be to step into this identity in your daily life. Regular visualization of yourself as this persona helps bridge the gap between your current reality and your wealthy future. Your wealth persona will evolve as you grow. Start with a clear vision of who you're becoming, but allow this identity to expand and refine itself through experience. Your wealth persona should challenge you to grow while remaining true to your core values and authentic self. This balance between aspiration and authenticity creates a sustainable foundation for lasting wealth. Lesson 3. Daily Behaviors of the Rich You. The path to wealth isn't paved with sporadic grand gestures, but rather with consistent daily actions that align with your wealthy identity. These behaviors, when practiced consistently, become the foundation of your transformation into the wealthy individual you're destined to become. Wealthy people start their days with intention, not reaction. They rise early, typically before the sun, not because they've read it in a success manual, but because they understand the power of having uninterrupted time to shape their day. This sacred morning period isn't filled with frantic email checking or social media scrolling. Instead, it's dedicated to strategic thinking, personal development, and activities that energize both mind and body. The wealthy version of you approaches decision-making with a distinct framework. Rather than making choices based on immediate gratification or short-term gains, your wealthy self evaluates opportunities through the lens of long-term value creation. When faced with decisions, you ask yourself, does this choice align with my wealth identity? Will this move me closer to my vision of abundance? This deliberate approach to decision-making becomes second nature, filtering out distractions and focusing your energy on high-impact activities. Time management takes on a new meaning when viewed through the lens of wealth consciousness. Your wealthy self understands that time is not just money, it's the foundation of all wealth creation. You begin to treat your time with the same reverence as your financial investments. This means ruthlessly eliminating activities that don't serve your wealth-building goals and delegating tasks that others can handle more efficiently. You recognize that every minute spent on low-value activities is a minute not invested in your growth and prosperity. Energy optimization becomes a crucial daily practice. Wealthy people understand that their physical and mental energy is their most precious resource. You start protecting your energy by setting clear boundaries, saying no to energy-draining commitments, and creating structures that support your peak performance. This might mean scheduling your most important work during your high-energy hours, taking strategic breaks for renewal, and ensuring proper nutrition and exercise are non-negotiable parts of your daily routine. The wealthy you cultivates relationships with intention and purpose. Each interaction becomes an opportunity to add value, learn, or create meaningful connections. You understand that true wealth flows through networks of relationships, so you invest time in nurturing these connections. This doesn't mean becoming calculating or manipulative, quite the opposite. It means showing up authentically and consistently, being genuinely interested in others' success, and creating win-win situations wherever possible. Problem-solving takes on a different character when approached from a position of wealth. Instead of seeing obstacles as roadblocks, you view them as opportunities for growth and innovation. Your wealthy self approaches challenges with curiosity and resourcefulness, asking, "How can I?" instead of saying, "I can't." This shift in problem-solving mentality opens up new possibilities and solutions that might have remained hidden under a scarcity mindset. Implementing these behaviors requires conscious effort initially, but over time they become your natural way of being. Start by choosing one or two behaviors that resonate most strongly with your wealth vision. Practice them consistently until they become automatic. Then add more. You're not trying to imitate someone else's version of wealth. You're embodying the wealthy individual you're meant to become. These daily behaviors are simply expressions of that identity, allowing your external actions to align with your internal transformation. Your daily behaviors are the bridge between who you are now and who you're becoming. Each action, decision, and habit is either moving you closer to or further from your wealthy identity. By consciously choosing behaviors that align with your wealth persona, you're not just acting rich, you're becoming the person who naturally attracts and creates wealth. Lesson 4: Dressing, Thinking, and Speaking Rich. Your external presentation serves as a powerful catalyst for internal transformation. When you align your appearance, thoughts, and communication with your wealthy identity, you create a self-reinforcing cycle that accelerates your journey to abundance. This chapter explores the tangible ways to embody your wealthy self through deliberate choices in how you present yourself to the world. The way you dress signals both to yourself and others your level of self-regard and success consciousness. This isn't about wearing expensive labels or following trends blindly. It's about making intentional choices that reflect quality, attention to detail, and self-respect. Start by auditing your current wardrobe with your wealthy identity in mind. Remove items that diminish your sense of worth and gradually invest in pieces that make you feel confident and successful. Focus on fit, fabric quality, and timeless style over flashy brands or temporary trends. Your thought patterns create your reality, and wealthy people think differently about money, time, and opportunity. They maintain an abundance mindset while acknowledging current reality. Practice reframing limiting thoughts into expansive ones. Instead of, "I can't afford that," ask yourself, "How can I create the resources for this?" Rather than dwelling on scarcity, direct your mental energy toward identifying opportunities and solutions. Your wealthy self understands that money is a renewable resource that flows through effective action and strategic thinking. The language you use shapes your reality and influences how others perceive and respond to you. Wealthy people speak with precision, confidence, and intention. They avoid self-deprecating language and poverty consciousness phrases. Replace "I'll try" with "I will," "I hope" with "I know," and "I should" with "I choose to." When discussing money and business, use language that reflects abundance and possibility rather than limitation and fear. Practice articulating your ideas clearly and confidently in all interactions. Your body language and presence communicate volumes about your self-perception and expected outcomes. Wealthy people carry themselves with quiet confidence, shoulders back, head high, movements deliberate and purposeful. They make consistent eye contact, offer firm handshakes, and maintain composed postures that convey self-assurance without arrogance. Practice these physical habits until they become natural expressions of your wealthy identity. Your digital presence is increasingly important in today's connected world. Audit your social media profiles, email communication, and online business presence through the lens of your wealthy identity. Ensure your virtual footprint reflects professionalism, value creation, and success consciousness. Share insights and achievements that align with your wealth persona while maintaining authenticity and genuine connection with your network. The key to making these external changes stick lies in viewing them as expressions of your evolving identity, rather than temporary fixes or manipulative techniques. Each choice in how you dress, think, speak, and carry yourself should feel like a natural extension of who you're becoming. When you encounter resistance to making these changes, recognize it as your old identity trying to maintain the status quo. Gentle persistence and consistent small improvements will gradually align your external presentation with your internal wealthy identity. These adjustments in your external presentation create a positive feedback loop. As you dress, think, and speak more aligned with your wealthy identity, you'll naturally attract opportunities and connections that support your growth. Your enhanced presence will open doors to new possibilities and relationships that accelerate your journey to actual wealth. These changes serve as both a reflection of your internal transformation and a catalyst for further growth. Lesson 5. Decisions from your future self. Every decision you make today either aligns with or deviates from your wealthy future self. The most successful people have mastered the art of making choices not from their current circumstances, but from the perspective of who they're becoming. This temporal shift in decision-making transforms ordinary choices into powerful steps toward inevitable wealth. Your wealthy future self exists in a reality where financial abundance is the norm. This version of you has overcome the limitations and fears that currently influence your choices. By tapping into this future perspective, you gain access to wisdom that transcends your present situation. When faced with a decision, ask yourself, what would my wealthy self do in this situation? This simple question creates a bridge between your current and future identity. The wealthy version of you evaluates opportunities differently. Where your current self might see risk, your wealthy self sees potential. Where your present perspective might urge caution, your affluent future self recognizes necessary investment. This shift isn't about reckless optimism, it's about viewing decisions through the lens of abundance rather than scarcity. Your wealthy self understands that certain risks are necessary for growth, and that playing it safe often costs more in the long run. Time becomes a different commodity when viewed through your wealthy self's eyes. While your current self might chase quick returns or immediate gratification, your wealthy self thinks in decades rather than days. This expanded time horizon allows for more strategic decision-making, focusing on building lasting value rather than short-term gains. Your wealthy self understands that true fortune is built through patient, deliberate choices aligned with long-term vision. Consider creating a personal board of directors in your mind, led by your future wealthy self. When facing important decisions, convene this inner council. Include other aspects of your future self, the wise investor, the savvy entrepreneur, the generous philanthropist. Each perspective contributes valuable insights to your decision-making process. This mental exercise helps break free from limited thinking patterns and opens up new possibilities you might otherwise miss. Your wealthy self also understands the value of strategic relationships and networking opportunities. When deciding how to spend your time and energy, your future self recognizes that certain connections and experiences are invaluable investments. While your current self might hesitate to attend that premium networking event or join that exclusive club, your wealthy self sees these as crucial steps in your journey to abundance. The way you handle day-to-day financial decisions shifts dramatically when channeling your wealthy self. Instead of asking, "Can I afford this?" your wealthy self asks, "Does this align with my vision of abundance?" This subtle shift transforms spending decisions from mere transactions into strategic moves that either reinforce or dilute your wealth identity. Your wealthy self understands that true affluence isn't about buying everything you want, but about making choices that reflect and support your journey to lasting wealth. Developing this future self perspective requires regular practice. Spend time each day writing from your wealthy self's viewpoint. Detail the decisions and actions that led to your success. Describe the wisdom you've gained and the perspective you've developed. This journaling practice strengthens your connection to your wealthy identity and makes it easier to access this viewpoint when making real-world decisions. Your wealthy self isn't just a financial success. This version of you has developed wisdom, judgment, and discernment through experience. By making decisions from this elevated perspective, you naturally begin to embody the qualities that create and attract wealth. Each choice becomes an opportunity to step more fully into your wealthy identity, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy of abundance. Lesson 6. Surrounding yourself with richness. Your environment shapes your identity more powerfully than willpower ever could. Every sight, sound, and interaction either reinforces or contradicts your wealthy identity, making your surroundings a crucial element in your transformation. When you consciously design your environment to reflect abundance, you naturally begin to embody the wealthy version of yourself. Start with your physical space. Your home and workspace should feel like places where a wealthy person dwells. This doesn't mean spending lavishly on expensive furniture or decorations. Instead, focus on organization, cleanliness, and purposeful arrangement. Add elements that suggest abundance: fresh flowers, art that inspires you, or objects that hold meaning and value beyond their monetary worth. Your digital environment deserves equal attention. The content you consume shapes your thoughts and beliefs about wealth. Curate your social media feeds to include successful entrepreneurs, financial experts, and thought leaders who align with your wealth vision. Replace mindless scrolling with purposeful consumption of content that educates and inspires. Your wealthy self values information that creates value and growth opportunities. The people around you form perhaps the most influential aspect of your environment. Your wealthy identity flourishes or withers based on your social circles. Seek out relationships with people who already embody the success you aspire to achieve. Join masterminds, attend high-level networking events, or participate in communities where wealth creation is the norm. These connections expose you to new ways of thinking and opportunities that match your expanding identity. Consider how you spend your leisure time. Wealthy people often engage in activities that combine pleasure with growth, learning, or relationship building. Replace passive entertainment with experiences that expand your perspective and network. This might mean attending cultural events, joining exclusive clubs, or participating in activities where successful people gather. Each experience becomes an opportunity to practice embodying your wealthy identity while forming valuable connections. Your daily rituals and habits should reflect your commitment to abundance. Create morning and evening routines that mirror those of successful people. This might include reading financial news, reviewing your investments, or spending time in reflection and planning. Even simple choices like where you shop, eat, or exercise can reinforce your wealthy identity when made consciously. The language and conversations in your environment impact your wealth consciousness. Engage in discussions about investments, business opportunities, and wealth creation. Distance yourself from conversations focused on lack, limitation, or financial struggle. Your wealthy self participates in dialogue that explores possibilities and solutions rather than dwelling on problems. Transform your workspace into a command center for wealth creation. Whether you have a home office or a corporate setting, ensure your environment supports focus, creativity, and strategic thinking. Display symbols of success that motivate you, keep tools for planning and visualization readily available, and maintain a space that would impress the clients and partners you wish to attract. Trimati extends beyond material surroundings. Cultivate an environment rich in ideas, opportunities, and positive energy. Expose yourself to diverse perspectives and experiences that challenge your thinking and expand your possibilities. Your wealthy identity thrives in an atmosphere of growth and abundance, where learning and evolution are constant companions. Your environment should make your wealthy identity feel natural and inevitable rather than forced or artificial. Each element of your surroundings should whisper, "This is who you are," rather than, "This is who you're trying to become." When your environment aligns with your desired identity, maintaining and expanding your wealth consciousness becomes effortless and automatic. Lesson 7. Being before having. The path to wealth starts with a profound paradox. You must first become wealthy in spirit before you can manifest material abundance. This timeless principle has guided countless people to extraordinary prosperity, yet it remains misunderstood by those caught in the chase for external riches. The secret lies in understanding that your inner state of being shapes your outer reality, not the other way around. When you grasp this fundamental truth, you begin to operate from an entirely different paradigm. Instead of desperately pursuing money and material goods, you cultivate the inner qualities, mindset, and energy of someone who already possesses great wealth. This isn't about pretending or engaging in magical thinking. It's about authentically embodying the highest version of yourself who has already achieved the prosperity you seek. This embodiment practice requires you to examine how a wealthy version of yourself would think, feel, and respond to daily situations. What level of confidence would they carry? How would they handle setbacks? What kind of energy would they bring to their interactions? By consistently aligning yourself with these elevated states of being, you naturally begin to make decisions and take actions that create material wealth. Gratitude plays a central role in this process, but not in the conventional sense. While being thankful for what you currently have is important, wealthy consciousness involves feeling grateful for the abundance that is already on its way to you. This future-focused gratitude creates a magnetic force that draws opportunities and resources into your life. It's about maintaining unwavering faith in your inevitable prosperity while remaining fully present and appreciative in the current moment. The practice of acting as if is often misunderstood as mere pretense or fake it till you make it thinking. True embodiment is far more nuanced and authentic. It's about accessing the parts of yourself that are already wealthy, your creativity, intelligence, resourcefulness, and capacity for growth. These inherent qualities are your real wealth, and by expressing them fully, you naturally attract external abundance. Your journey to wealth must be anchored in authenticity. This means staying true to your core values and genuine aspirations while elevating your identity. You're not trying to become someone else. You're becoming more fully yourself. This authentic evolution allows you to maintain integrity while expanding into greater levels of prosperity and influence. Faith plays an essential role in this transformation, but not blind faith or wishful thinking. This is the kind of faith that's backed by action, preparation, and personal development. It's the deep knowing that as you align your inner being with wealth consciousness, the external manifestation of wealth becomes inevitable. This faith gives you the courage to make bold moves and stay committed to your vision, even when immediate circumstances don't yet reflect your wealthy identity. The practice of being before having requires patience and persistence. You must maintain your wealthy identity even when faced with temporary financial challenges or setbacks. This unwavering commitment to your elevated state of being eventually breaks down the barriers between your current reality and your desired prosperity. Your consistent embodiment of wealth consciousness creates a bridge that external abundance naturally crosses to reach you. This approach to wealth creation operates at a causal level, addressing the root of prosperity rather than just its effects. By focusing on being the person who naturally attracts and creates wealth, you set in motion forces far more powerful than mere strategic action plans or investment strategies. Your transformed identity becomes a catalyst for opportunities, relationships, and resources that accelerate your journey to material abundance. This journey is cyclical, not linear. As you embody more aspects of your wealthy identity, you attract greater resources, which in turn reinforce your wealthy self-concept. This creates an upward spiral of expanding prosperity that continues to build momentum over time. Your role is to maintain the integrity of your wealthy being, while allowing the having to naturally follow. Lesson 8. Rituals that reinforce identity. The most powerful transformation happens through consistent, meaningful rituals that reshape our identity at a cellular level. Wealthy people understand that their daily practices aren't just habits, they're sacred ceremonies that continually reinforce who they're becoming. These rituals serve as bridges between your current reality and your wealthy future self, creating an unshakable foundation for lasting prosperity. Your morning ritual sets the tone for how you'll show up in the world. The wealthy version of you doesn't rush into the day reacting to emergencies and others' demands. Instead, you rise early to center yourself, affirm your identity, and align your energy with abundance. This might involve meditation, journaling, or quiet contemplation of your expanding wealth consciousness. The specific activities matter less than the intentionality behind them. Each morning action should remind you of your wealthy identity. Throughout the day, successful people practice what we call wealth anchoring moments. These are brief pauses where you consciously embody your wealthy self. Before entering a meeting, making a purchase, or engaging in any financial decision, take a moment to ask, how would my wealthy self approach this? This ritual creates a pattern interrupt that prevents unconscious behaviors driven by old scarcity patterns. But physical rituals are equally important in reinforcing your wealthy identity. The way you carry yourself, how you dress, and how you maintain your space all send powerful messages to your subconscious mind. Develop rituals around personal grooming, wardrobe selection, and environment curation that reflect the standards of your wealthy self. These aren't acts of pretense, they're physical manifestations of your evolving identity. Money-specific rituals help bridge the gap between your current financial reality and your wealthy future. Create ceremonies around paying bills with gratitude, reviewing investments with confidence, and celebrating financial milestones. Some wealthy people have rituals of blessing their money, speaking to it as a partner in their prosperity journey. While this may seem unusual, it creates a positive relationship with wealth that attracts more abundance. Evening rituals are opportunities to integrate the day's experiences and reinforce your wealthy identity. Review your successes, acknowledge where you embodied your wealthy self, and release any scarcity-based thoughts or behaviors that may have surfaced. Use this time to visualize your continued expansion and set intentions for the next day. This creates a positive feedback loop that strengthens your wealthy identity while you sleep. Relationship rituals are crucial for maintaining connections that support your wealth identity. Schedule regular meetings with mentors, masterminds, or success-minded peers. Create rituals around how you network, how you follow up, and how you nurture professional relationships. Your wealthy self understands that true prosperity flows through a web of strong connections. Learning rituals ensure continuous growth and adaptation. Wealthy people are lifelong students who consistently invest in their knowledge and capabilities. Establish daily reading practices, weekly skill-building sessions, or monthly deep-dive learning experiences. Each educational ritual should align with your wealth identity and expand your capacity for greater success. The key to effective wealth-building rituals is their alignment with your authentic self. Don't adopt practices that feel forced or incongruent with your values. Instead, design rituals that resonate with your personal style while stretching you toward your wealthy identity. When rituals feel natural and meaningful, they become powerful tools for transformation rather than burdensome tasks to complete. Rituals are living practices that evolve as you do. As your wealth consciousness expands, your rituals will naturally become more sophisticated and aligned with your growing prosperity. Stay open to adjusting and upgrading your practices as you receive new insights and inspiration from your wealthy self. Lesson 9. Claiming your role as a wealth magnet. Money flows naturally to those who align their identity with wealth attraction. Like a magnet drawing metal to itself, your transformed identity pulls opportunities, resources, and abundance in your direction. This magnetic effect isn't mystical. It's the natural result of positioning yourself as someone who expects and welcomes wealth. The wealth magnet identity begins with a fundamental shift in how you view money's relationship to you. Rather than chasing after money or viewing it as something to be struggled for, you recognize yourself as a natural attractor of wealth. This subtle but powerful perspective change transforms every financial interaction. You move through the world knowing that money wants to flow to you because you provide value, solve problems, and create positive impact. Your role as a wealth magnet manifests in how you handle current resources. When money comes your way, you treat it with respect and intelligence, but not desperation. You make decisions from a place of strategic growth rather than fearful hoarding. This balanced approach signals to both your subconscious mind and the outside world that you are a reliable steward of wealth, worthy of handling greater amounts. The language you use around money reflects your magnetic identity. Instead of saying, "I can't afford it," you ask, "How can I make this happen?" Rather than complaining about prices, you focus on increasing your value and impact. Your words demonstrate that you expect positive financial outcomes while maintaining realistic appreciation for the effort required. This balanced optimism attracts both opportunities and the people who can help you seize them. Your wealth magnetic field strengthens through consistent action that aligns with your identity. You regularly put yourself in positions where money can find you, whether that's through business networking, skill development, or strategic relationship building. You remain alert to opportunities while maintaining discernment about which ones truly serve your wealthy identity. This selective but engaged approach naturally draws more high-quality possibilities your way. The key aspect of being a wealth magnet is maintaining energetic alignment with abundance. This means processing and releasing any residual shame, guilt, or unworthiness around money. You recognize that your ability to attract wealth serves the greater good by allowing you to have more positive impact. The more comfortable you become with receiving, the stronger your magnetic pull becomes. Your wealth attraction power amplifies through giving and circulation. You understand that money is meant to flow, not stagnate. When you give generously from a place of abundance rather than obligation, you strengthen your identity as someone who has more than enough. This creates a positive cycle where your comfort with both receiving and giving accelerates your natural magnetism for wealth. The role of a wealth magnet includes being a connector and facilitator of opportunity for others. As you attract abundance, you naturally create spillover benefits for those around you. You become known as someone who not only generates wealth, but helps others do the same. This reputation further enhances your magnetic effect as people increasingly want to be in your orbit. Your magnetic identity requires regular maintenance and strengthening. Each morning you reinforce your role as a wealth attractor through visualization, affirmation, and embodiment practices. You consciously carry yourself with the quiet confidence of someone who knows their value and expects positive financial flow. This isn't about arrogance or entitlement, but rather about claiming your natural place in the ecosystem of wealth creation and circulation. Acting as a wealth magnet means staying centered in your identity regardless of temporary external circumstances. You recognize that your magnetic power comes from who you are, not what you currently have. This unwavering self-concept allows you to maintain your attractive force even during challenges, knowing that your role as a wealth magnet remains constant while conditions naturally ebb and flow. Lesson 10. Living today like you've already won. The ultimate expression of your wealthy identity isn't found in some distant future. It emerges from how you show up today, right now, in this very moment. When you truly understand this principle, you realize that living as if you've already achieved your financial dreams isn't about pretense or denial of your current circumstances. Instead, it's about accessing the consciousness, confidence, and capabilities that naturally exist within your highest self. Consider how differently you would approach today if you knew, with absolute certainty, that your financial success was inevitable. Your shoulders would relax, your breath would deepen, and your decisions would flow from a place of security rather than scarcity. This isn't about ignoring reality or abandoning practical financial planning. Rather, it's about operating from the elevated perspective of someone who knows their worth and understands the natural ebb and flow of wealth creation. The wealthy version of you doesn't waste energy worrying about small setbacks or temporary obstacles. Instead, that version of you sees these challenges as natural stepping stones on the path to greater abundance. When you live from this perspective, you naturally attract opportunities that align with your expanded sense of self. Your conversations become more strategic, your relationships more meaningful, and your actions more purposeful. Living as if you've already won means treating your time with the respect it deserves. You don't overcrowd your schedule with obligations that drain your energy or compromise your values. You create space for strategic thinking, relationship building, and personal renewal. The wealthy you understands that true abundance flows from a well-nourished mind and spirit. Your physical environment begins to reflect this shift in consciousness. Without necessarily spending more money, you organize your space with intention and care. Every item in your home or office serves a purpose or brings joy. You maintain your positions as if they were precious because you understand that wealth consciousness begins with appreciating and maximizing what you already have. In your interactions with others, you carry yourself with the quiet confidence of someone who knows their value. You're generous with your knowledge and resources, understanding that true wealth multiplies through sharing. You listen more than you speak, ask powerful questions, and seek to create value in every exchange. This approach naturally positions you as someone others want to connect with and support. Financial decisions take on a different quality when you operate from this mindset. Rather than asking, "Can I afford this?" you ask, "Does this align with my wealthy identity?" You make choices based on long-term value rather than short-term cost. You invest in your growth, knowing that personal development always yields returns far beyond the initial investment. Your daily rituals become a celebration of your prosperity rather than a desperate attempt to achieve it. You move through your day with grace and intention, knowing that each action either reinforces or diminishes your wealthy identity. From the way you prepare for your day to how you close it, every moment becomes an opportunity to embody your highest self. The truth is, you've already won. The wealth you seek exists within you as potential, waiting to be expressed through your actions and choices. By living from this truth today, you accelerate its physical manifestation in your life. Your wealthy identity isn't something to be achieved, it's something to be revealed through conscious, aligned action in the present moment. Living like you've already won transforms your relationship with money from one of pursuit to one of attraction. Money becomes attracted to the energy of certainty and abundance you emit. Your focus shifts from getting to becoming, from acquiring to expressing, from chasing to allowing. In this state of being, wealth naturally flows toward you because you've aligned yourself with its fundamental nature.